Hello and welcome to our folding insert tutorial using our cutting files from our September USB. Using the SVG cut file, you want to cut out and also mark your score lines. Here I've used a removable pen so that we can just heat set it to remove it later. Start by blending the Spice Marmalade and the Candied apple across your card surface. This first coat need only be light and it doesn't matter if you miss a few places. At each layer of ink we're going to also sprinkle a little bit of water and blot. This will help us to build depth into our background. As you progress with your background you're going to want to add more and stronger inks. So here I've used the Spice Marmalade in a more dense fashion while also adding in the Ice Spruce and the Black Soot. You can also use lighter colours like Squeeze Lemonade and Worn Lipstick to fill in the gaps. Sprinkle between each layer with a water brush and blot, or you can use the sparkle pen for that extra touch. Next you want to use some low-tack stencil tape or a stencil medium. So first of all stamp your Steampunk lady onto your centre panel without it going onto your outside of your card, before masking your centre panel to work on the outside. Using the top section of your Steampunk lady stamp, add some cogs using your Distress Oxides in Spice Marmalade, but you can also bring in Distress inks as well to stamp. Using a stamp platform at this point really helps you to get the best impression that you can. Don't be afraid of restamping if need be. Once you've done this, you can then use the masking to also blend in some additional. Use the same technique for your sentiment and also adding in a stamp image that goes across both your background and your Here you can see in detail the level of contrast that you want to develop between your background and your centre panel. Don't worry that you can still see the pen lines at this point, as when we heat set this, those will blend away. Next you can add some colouring using some alcohol markers. Alcohol markers work really well on the Distress Oxide back. We've focused on the use of colour rather than the individual brands, so don't be afraid to mix and match your markers. So long as they're all alcohol, they'll blend beautifully. When working with your sheet, you are going to fold your score lines from the outside in. Your first two outside folds are going to be valley folds, before then splitting between the inside and the outside of your card. Apply adhesive to the back panel of your insert, before applying it into the back panel of the inside of your 6x6 card. Then apply adhesive to the front, fold your insert down and carefully lower your front panel onto the insert. By working in this fashion you end up with a very neat border on the right hand side, which is where you really are going to need it, and you don't end up with any unsightly over. Finally we need to do the front of our 6x6. Taking a piece of 5x5 stamping card, I've created a rotating panel using the rotating template. Here I've used one of the stamps that I feature on the inside of my card for continuity. Use the same inks on this panel as in the centre of your card, but please note to leave the centre of your card lighter using Squeeze Lemonade so you can really pop out that clock in the middle. I then cut a 5 3/4 inch square mount and cut a 4x4 square out of the middle so we don't waste too much material. Adhere these to your. Thank you for joining me for today's video, and I hope you've really enjoyed this tutorial. If so, don't forget to like and subscribe. The files that we used are available on the PlannerCraft September USB. Be sure to order before the end of the month to be able to get your copy. Visit us at www.plannercraft.uk to get yours.